Right. Hi. So we're starting chapter 7 on memory. And one of the themes that we've been talking about in psychology class is just how we can learn things about human behavior that we never knew before. And more specifically, that really change our whole viewpoint, our whole basis for understanding human behavior. And chapter 7 is one of those chapters on memory. So you might think that your memories are like home video, where if you remember, your birthday party when you were 7 years old, that every memory you have happened just the way you remember it. But the truth is, I'm quoting one of my favorite researchers here, Elizabeth Loftus says, your memory is kind of like a Wikipedia page. You can go in and edit it, and other people can too. And so have you ever had the experience where you're recalling something? Let's say it's a family get together and you're thinking about, oh, do you remember that one time where we were at, this wedding or something? And then you have this memory and you tell the rest of your family what you remember. And then they say, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. And they have a different details. And you're sure you're right, and they're sure they're right. And the truth is maybe in between. I don't know. But our memories are not infallible. We can have memories that have been changed and manipulated. And what we think is for sure happened may not have for sure happened. So let's start looking at memory. Hopefully you printed out, hopefully you printed out the Chapter 7 test guide. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, hopefully you have that. Got a little PowerPoint here, if I can find it. Oops. Sorry, technical difficulty. All right, let's start from the beginning. Memory, sweet memory. Okay, so the first thing you have on your sheet there, it says there's two broad categories of memory, explicit and implicit. So what is explicit memory? It's memory of specific information. Short definition. So this is better explained by looking at examples of what it is. So there's two subcategories here, episodic and semantic. And so we're going to look at those to help us understand what is explicit memory. Episodic. So memory of a specific event, autobiographical. So this is an episode, an event from your own life. You were there, you experienced it, you remember. That's episodic. So this is like, if you had a birthday party as a kid, your 6th grade graduation, your Chicago field trip, family vacation, things that you actually experienced. Those are episodic memories. A specific type, the next thing there, what is flashbulb memory? Flashbulb memory is when we remember every detail like a picture, hence the flashbulb, the idea of a picture in time, like a moment is captured. So this is from the textbook, Linda and Mark, if you remember their little story vignette. Linda and Mark will never forget the first time they went out to their first I love yous. Those are flashbulb memories. And so obviously too young to remember September 11, but for many people my age, certainly, and older, we remember September 11 as a flashbulb memory where we have unique, startling memories of that day that we don't have for other days. Perhaps your parents or grandparents remember Kennedy's assassination in 1963. Or I remember when I was a kid, the fall of the Berlin Wall. That was kind of a flashbulb memory for me. Maybe for you people, it was the first time you took my psychology test. Okay, not funny. This is better in class when I get your looks of dismay when I say something that's not funny. All right, so why do we have flashbulb memory? It usually is tied with powerful emotions. So whether that's sadness, fear, happiness, joy, love. So if you think of some of your most significant memories, usually they're wrapped up in your most extreme emotions. And like I said, they can be positive, joy, happiness, etc., or they can be more subdued or sad or tragic. And so I'm sure you're thinking in your mind right now some of your perhaps most of your happiest memories and some of your most tragic memories, because we all have them. And so it's those extreme emotions that cause us to remember things more vividly. Okay, semantic memory. So this is another type of explicit memory. It's sometimes called generic memory. So definition, general knowledge people remember. I have a lot of general knowledge, especially since I'm teaching World War II right now. So I have general knowledge about General Patton and General Eisenhower and General Chesty Puller and General Erwin Rommel. Get it? General knowledge because they're generals? No? I'm trying hard. All right, we may not remember when we first learned this information. So this is all kinds of knowledge that you have wrapped up in that brain of yours, and you might not remember when you learned it. Do you remember exactly when you learned the alphabet, or that humans breathe oxygen, or a horse is a horse, of course, and not a cow, or your knowledge about COVID-19, or who knows what all, World War II, right? You might not remember exactly when you learned it, but it's just general knowledge. We call that semantic memory. All right, so there's General Chesty Puller, U.S. Marine Corps, most decorated Marine. That's the Desert Fox, Erwin Rommel. Okay, moving on. I love history, so I just throw it in there. Okay, implicit memory. So this is the other category of memory, right? We have explicit, so we looked at autobiographical memories and general knowledge, and then we have implicit, which is skills and procedures. So sometimes it's called procedural memory. So what kind of procedures do you know? You probably know how to ride a bike, how to swim, how to throw a ball, how to type, how to play an instrument, maybe the piano, how to eat with silverware, how to drive a car, how to shoot a gun. So these skills stick with you for years, even if you don't use the skill. So maybe you don't ride a bike very often, but then one day maybe you're on a camping trip and you hop on a bike, and it's not like you forgot how to ride a bike. Or swimming, right? Obviously in Michigan, we don't have an opportunity to swim all year round usually. So it's not like when first time you jump in a pool or go swimming out Lake Michigan or something in June or July that you have to relearn how to swim. Interestingly, Alzheimer's patients, they don't often lose their procedural skills right away. It's usually their, episodic memories that go first. Their procedural memories usually stick on for a long time. Okay, so my PowerPoint ends here, but you notice the notes do not. So if I switch back to the notes a moment here. If I can find it, sorry. I can't find it. Anyway, oh, maybe. I don't know, for some reason it's not showing up as something I can share. I don't know why. So what I'm saying is, sorry, technical difficulty. What I want you to do is I posted an article by Elizabeth Loftus on memory, false memories, and leading questions. And I want you to read that before tomorrow. So here's our notes. I found it. Okay. So down here, the mutability of memory, how memory can change, kind of what I prefaced our discussion with. Leading questions, false memories, repressed memories, and then some conclusions. So you can try to jot a few things down here as you go through the reading. I might throw up a question sheet to go along with the reading, and then we'll look more deeply into this tomorrow. So.